It's time for the buzz with the Queen Bee on the Devin Dixon Show.
Popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right.
Welcome back. It is The Drive on a Throwdown Thursday. Getting ready for the weekend. AT and the boys in for Devin Dixon. But right now, we got the Queen Bee on the line. And usually we do this at about 5:30, but today we've moved it up an hour to give some of the callers from the first hour a chance to win something off the Queen Bee. We'll be doing trivia next segment. But first, the wild and wacky stories from the world of sports. What do you got this week, Queen Bee?
Well, obviously, we need to start with that blimp update, the one that caught fire and crashed at the U.S. Open today.
Yes.
Because that story is insane, and, there's constant updates about everything.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much you've said, but so far what we have is it was operated by Florida-based AirSign, and obviously it's been using for advertising. There's video of the blimp falling as well as flattened, like on the field, shard metal and grass. Everyone caught videos of it. So the injured pilot was taken to a medical helicopter that had landed in the field for him. He is injured. He parachuted out, as everybody knows that's heard the story. But there's no update on his condition so far. But hopefully, it's nothing too serious, because the fact that they played on while it was going on is pretty insane. Yeah,
they just kind of kept going with the tournament. What's your assessment just from seeing it, Queen Bee? Do you expect him to be, I don't know at what point of the drop he was able to get the parachute out or how much velocity he landed with, but what's your take on how this guy's going to be?
I mean, just as a guess, I would be shocked if he didn't have his legs broken at this point, because he definitely wasn't able to pull his chute from a high enough height.
Sure.
And if you don't get that, you hit the ground just with too much velocity. And
right.
There's, for him to, quote unquote, walk away from it would be highly unlikely.
Was the blimp, I'm just watching the CNN video right now of it burning. What was written on the blimp? Like, who was this guy working for? Do we know?
It's a Florida-based company called AirSign.
Okay.
So it's by them. I don't know.
So they're going bankrupt?
Yeah, they're done after this. I mean, obviously it was a mechanical failure, but come on, you have to make sure your blimps are in good working order in order to do this. So you've put your pilot at risk.
Yeah. All right. Well,
don't do this.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. Thoughts and prayers, obviously, with him. Hoping it's just a couple, at the most, broken bones. All right. Thanks for the update on that, Queen Bee. We have been following it here from the studio. Let's go on to the next story.
All right, so there is a soccer player who has now admitted to poking opponents with a needle during matches, which is unreal. I mean, we know a lot of times the underdogs, they resort to these somewhat underhanded tactics, such as, faking injuries, hard fouling, unsportsmanlike conduct, but fine, but not to this level. So there's this guy, it was one of the lower division defenders in Argentina, and he flat out told a radio station that he had to resort to the old book, which is needles. So this has happened apparently multiple times. And now that it's come out, they've asked other players, and they say, yeah, this actually has been going on. They've complained, but no one did anything. It doesn't sound like anyone actually believed that he was doing this. So now the team, Pacifico, their leadership is done with him. He's going to be out of a job. They're expelling him from the club. And the coach agrees with it. But what on earth, needles?
It seems, Queen Bee, every week you have a more crazy story from the international soccer scene. What needs to be done to shut this down completely or make it stop? If you were in charge of the world, what steps would you take to prevent death and crazy stuff happening on international soccer?
I don't think you can prevent. I mean, there's always going to be people that are going against the rules, and honestly, in Europe, it's less tightly, the management is less tightly kept, and the rules are a little bit looser.
Which makes it more fun, right? I mean,
right.
I know we wouldn't be talking about, there's some craziness that happens. People go to those games to party, not to say in the MLS here in America they don't do the same, but that is a different brand of fan, and one of the byproducts of having a very entertaining in-game experience as a fan is you have to deal with getting poked with a needle every once in a while.
Well, apparently this happened in the 1960s, that someone had gone around, Bilardo, his name was, that it went around, and this is how the guy got the idea. But, I mean, to be honest, obviously we'd love to be able to stop this stuff from happening, but I don't think it's going to. I think there's always going to be someone who has to take it too far.
Yes.
Sounds like a Draymond Green-like thing to do.
Yeah, Draymond, I wouldn't put that past him. All right, next story, Queen Bee.
So the next couple actually are also tied into soccer because FIFA, they're now going to allow referees to suspend matches due to racism at the Confederations Cup. Now, the question is, that's great that they're going to try to fight the discrimination in soccer, but what on earth are they going to say that qualifies as racism? Now it's going to be up to the refs to decide if something's racist or not.
Yeah.
So one ref is going to have a different opinion than another, what's going on and the level of racism. And that's great. You guys can work to kind of have, a general idea, but it's never going to be evenly done in every single match. So you've got to wonder, but now also the World Cup's going to be in Russia, where they're known for torturing, gays and the LGBT community. So you're going to start this now, but now you're going to Russia for the World Cup. It kind of seems like we have a problem, a bigger problem than just, every single match trying to make this decision.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. That's a lot of burden to put on a referee because, there's been a history, especially in Europe, of crazy things going down from fans throwing stuff at certain players or whatever. Obviously, that's the stuff that's easy to determine. Okay, we need to suspend this, but where do you draw the line? And I can see this kind of blowing up a little bit.
Well, yeah, because then they're saying, well, they can suspend the matches and stop them, but then the referees are going to be also put in more danger because people are crazy about their soccer and their teams, and they're going to get even more upset, and it could put their lives in danger. To be honest, we've seen, these stories about how people, react when their team loses what they feel is unfairly.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how this is going to work. And then, in turn, Russian officials have now guaranteed, this is my favorite headline of the week, actually, that they've guaranteed there will be no racism at the 2018 World Cup. Now, Alexei Smirtin, he's head of the anti-racism division for the Russian Soccer Union. He just 2 years ago denied that racism even existed in Russia and said that giving bananas to black players was just for fun and putting everyone in blackface. So now all of a sudden you're saying there won't be this, and there was an incident just last month when Russians representing the Cameroonian soccer delegation did dress up in the blackface and carried bananas once again while marching in a parade out of the Confederations Cup. So how is this going to have such a quick turnaround? They're completely blind to it.
Yeah, they got to get their crap together because stuff like that's been happening forever over there, and I don't know why. What something like that, if that happened here, there would be scorched earth, and over there it's just kind of something that is perpetuated and, like you say, has been kind of allowed and enabled for a long time.
Right, the rules and regulations are just too different. They're just too lax.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The question is, well, I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm not getting a good feeling about this.
All right, let's hear the next soccer one.
All right, this is on a better note. The MLB is actually going to adopt XFL-style jersey rules for one weekend. So it's just going to be one weekend later this year, and it's going to be called Players Weekend from August 25th to 27th. Players are going to have the option to wear a jersey with their nicknames, though they're just limited to one, and obviously no inappropriate or offensive nicknames. There's going to be minimal color restrictions. You can do spikes, batting gloves, wristbands, compression sleeves, compression sleeves, catcher's masks. And so the only thing that they have to do with the colors is they must avoid interfering with the game or an umpire's ability to make a call, which I think is great. So every player can choose their own, and it's going to be really cool because they can auction off the jerseys after the weekend, and the proceeds are going to go to a joint MLB PA and MLB charity. So the Players Association and MLB negotiated it, and it's awesome. I think this could actually work, and it'll be a lot of fun for the players and all the fans.
They're trying to make baseball fun again, and they're doing it by
which they need to.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I think this is a kind of a cool idea. Spices it up a little. It's a long season. It's a long,
really long
hot
season.
Go ahead and do something like this. Raise money. I'm fine with that. But for me, baseball is plenty fun with them just wearing their stirrups and their old school whatever, and no weird colors or anything like that. I'm fine with that. But I understand you want to attract, you want to sell these shirtsies that have "He Hate Me" on the back of them. I can dig it. I'm fine with it, Queen Bee. Let's do it.
Someone needs to do. That'd be great. So on another baseball story, so Ian Happ, he's a Cubs rookie. He actually did manage to do something only 4 other players in history managed to do. He went 1 for 5 with a walk, a grand slam, and 4 strikeouts during the Cubs' 14-3 beatdown over the Mets, of course, because, the Mets just had a terrible season. But
the golden sombrero.
This is really cool. Yeah, a golden sombrero. So the fact that he's only 1 of 5 players in baseball history to do this. So Reggie Jackson did it twice in 82 and 85. Derek Norris did it, and a couple other players as well. So you got to wonder emotionally how it was. Like, normally a 4 strikeout night is really demoralizing, and a grand slam one is really exciting. So you got to wonder how he's feeling at the end.
Yeah, he's got to feel kind of neutral about the whole thing. Although I would say 4 Ks outweighs 1 home run by quite a bit. But it was a grand slam. So
it was a grand slam.
And I'm amazed that, I'm not surprised Reggie Jackson did it twice in his career, but wow, the space, how long Major League Baseball's been around, only a handful of guys have done it. Good job. Ian Happ, good work.
Nice work. We're going to talk about now Michigan's trip to Italy. Do you remember when the Michigan football program went to Italy? It was in April, actually. It was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Right. So they're saying that the trip cost close to, $800,000. They're scheduled, they were scheduled to take 117 players in 2 shifts, separated because of, exams, 37 family members, and 50 coaches and staff members. The problem is the numbers don't add up. If it's $5,000 to $6,000 a person, that would come close to $1 million, or well over $1 million. And then on top of that, they're talking about not paying student athletes, they're giving them an educational experience, but they're paying to take them to Italy, which goes against, not paying players. And not only that, there's a better way you could have invested $5,000 to $6,000 per kid if you're the guy paying for it. Couldn't you have done something better with that money for the university?
Well, I'm gonna excuse this one, Queen Bee, because it was my understanding was it's a guy privately funded. You're not supposed to pay athletes, or who gives a crap? You're taking them on a trip. I'm actually buying the thing that Harbaugh is saying about it's educational. You got a fundraiser or whatever, a guy to support your efforts to go over to Europe, see the world a little bit. I don't care if it's $800,000 or $1 million. You go to Michigan, this is one of the perks. You have boosters that want to please Harbaugh. They're going to throw down $1 million so you can take your guys to Europe. Totally fine with it. Love it. Privately funded, not state funded. I see no blood, no foul.
So they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's no proof one way or the other that there was no, public help out of taxes or something else, or people,
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand that argument if there was public money or money through the school, but if it's just some rich booster, no problem with it at all.
Right. All right. So final story of the day before we go to Buzz Time Trivia. I like this soccer story. This is great. So it's this team called Christos FC. It's an amateur Baltimore soccer team that never practices and is headquartered in a liquor store, of all places. It was playing 4th round U.S. Open Cup match against DC United in the MLS, and in the 23rd minute, this team scored first against a championship team, which is awesome. I mean, they still lost 4-1, but they scored first, and these guys are practically they never practice. They're headquartered in a liquor store. They are amateurs, and they scored against these pros. What a great feeling, and there's videos of everyone going nuts.
Good for them. I can't wait for the Mark Wahlberg movie where he's playing the guy who scored the goal in the Cinderella story.
He does do all those, yeah.
All right, quick break. When we come back, Buzz Time Trivia. Give us a call, 673-9398. We've got great prizes and parting gifts right here on the Devin Dixon Show, ESPN Radio 97.7.
If you're a sports fan, you're a Dixon fan. The Devin Dixon Show. Weekdays 4 to 6 on Sports Radio, ESPN.
Hey, I heard you
Hey, welcome back. It is the Devin Dixon Show on ESPN Radio 97.7. Today's show brought to you by One Law, who makes it easy to find highly skilled, passionate lawyers. Visit them at onelaw.com or download their mobile app. It's time for Buzz Time Trivia. We got the Queen Bee on the line. We've got callers 673-9398 for a chance to win great prizes and parting gifts, courtesy of the Devin Dixon Show. Our first caller is Carter. Carter, how we doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Are you a new listener to the Devin Dixon Show or long time?
Relatively new, pretty young buck. I'm only 21 years old.
Oh, right on. Well, your name looked new to our normal callers. Appreciate you calling. All right, Queen Bee, fire away.
All right, in honor of the doldrums of summer, we're doing baseball trivia and we're doing multiple choice.
Okay.
So, who hit the first Grand Slam home run in professional baseball? Was it Roger Connor, Buck Ewing, Ed Daly, or Paul Hine?
I'm going to say the first one. Roger Connor, that was his name?
Roger Connor, you got it.
What? Carter! Holy cow! I don't have my music. I've never heard of any of those guys, and you got it right. And I'm going to say that wasn't a guess. You knew that.
I didn't know about that. I'd heard the name, but I didn't know if it was the first Grand Slam.
All right on, Carter. You're going to Pepper's Cantina. Thanks for calling and come by the studio weekdays. We're open 8 to 5 here on Bluff Street, Cherry Creek Media. And come get you some Pepper's Cantina off the courtesy of the Queen Bee. Queen, that was not an easy question, and he knocked it out of the park. Good job, Carter. All right, next call. You're on ESPN Radio. What's your name?
Tyler.
All right, Tyler. Good luck. Go ahead,
All
Queen
right,
Bee.
Tyler, what pitcher pitched the first no-hit complete game? Was it Pud Galvin, Monty Ward, George Bradley, or Old Hoss Radbourn?
Ooh. Can you give me those one more time?
Pud Galvin, Monty Ward, George Bradley, or Old Hoss Radbourn?
George Bradley.
You got it. 2 for 2.
Are you kidding me?
No way,
I swear.
That's the right
Nice
answer.
guess.
2 for 2.
Nice
Choice,
guess.
Terrible idea.
Congratulations. I'm amazed. These callers, man. How did they get them? George Bradley's correct. Let's. What do you got there? What do you got there, Ryan, for a prize?
We got another Pepper's Cantina.
All right, you're going to Pepper's. Congratulations.
Clean out all the prizes.
what's his name again?
Continue up like this.
What was
Tyler.
Tyler?
Tyler, that's
Good job,
right.
Tyler. Thanks for calling.
By the
I'm
way,
amazed.
Tyler.
We're 2 for 2, and Queen Bee is shaking in her boots because she's throwing fastballs, and they're going deep into the upper deck, courtesy of our genius callers. All right, next caller, you're on ESPN Radio. What's your name?
Ray.
All right, Ray, good luck. Go ahead, Queen Bee.
Of all these pitchers I'm about to list, who allowed the most Grand Slam homers against them? Was it Frank Viola, Gaylord Perry, Phil Niekro, or Jim Katt?
Phil Miefro.
Incorrect, Jim Katt.
Oh, good guess. Good guess. I think Negro was a White Sox pitcher. That was a pretty good guess. Gaylord Perry, obviously, I've heard of that guy. And Frank Viola, who I think was a Met. So I probably would have gone with him. But it was Jim Katt, a guy I've never heard of. All right, caller, what's your name? Thanks for calling.
This Larry.
All right, Larry, good luck. Go ahead, Queen Bee.
Hi, Larry. Against what team did Nolan Ryan throw his first no-hitter? Was it the Kansas City Royals, the New York Yankees, the Baltimore Orioles, or the Detroit Tigers?
Baltimore Orioles.
No, it's actually the Kansas City Royals.
Good guess. Royals are terrible, especially back then, but so was Baltimore. So either way, you were probably safe. I would have guessed one of those two. All right, Queen Bee, you've given up 2, and you've won 2. Let's see if we can get the rubber match going here. Hi, caller. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Dave.
All right, Dave. Good luck.
All right, Dave, who was the first pitcher to steal home? Red Ames, Bucky Walters, Jack Quinn, or Jesse Tannenhill?
Had to be Jack Quinn. He was really quick.
Incorrect. It was Jesse Tannenhill.
Oh!
He sounded so confident.
Yeah, I like the confidence. I don't know if it was real or fake confidence, but go.
convinced me.
Dead fake.
He was hoping if he said it with the
You convinced me, Dave. You convinced me.
All right, Dave. We're all rooting for you, but Queen Bee got you that time. All right, caller. What's your name? Thanks for calling.
It's Travis.
All right, Travis. Good luck. She's on a bit of a streak here. Let's see if we can break it up. Go ahead, Queen Bee.
Who was the first rookie to have at least 200 hits? Dale Alexander, Jimmy Williams, Earl Combs, or Hal Trosky?
Go Jimmy Williams.
You got it.
Yes! We got
Nice
a
guess.
third winner, and no, it's not a guess. He's a big Jimmy Williams fan. He has his Mitchell and Ness throwback jersey hung up in his house. All right, remind me your name again. Sorry, I think it's Tyler.
Yeah, it's Travis.
Travis. Thanks for
Travis.
calling. Jimmy Williams.
Name's wrong.
Getting him some Pepper's Cantina. Good job. All right, let's go to our last caller. Back to the phone lines. Thanks for calling in. What's your name?
John.
All right, John. Let's go. What do you got, Queen Bee?
What was the first team to have 4 players homer consecutively? The Yankees, the Braves, the Indians, or the Senators?
Brave.
Correct.
Look,
like
I don't know
you.
what's going on, but we got another winner, and
Reminds me
these
of
are
my
the-
NASCAR one. when
what is
everyone
going
got
on,
killed that
Queen Bee?
day.
These are
I don't know.
the hardest questions I've ever heard, and our winners got 4.
Well, apparently multiple choice was a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, good job.
That's all I know.
I'm proud of you. You did the best you could, but our listeners brought the pain, Queen Bee, and they sent you
Damn.
packing back to L.A. Caller, what's your name?
John.
John. All right, you're going to. Where's he going, Ryan?
Jimmy John.
Jimmy Johns. Thanks for calling in, Queen Bee. Great job. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, Coach Dale Stott of the Zion Lions getting ready for the playoffs. They're playing the Utah Shock this weekend. We'll talk all things Lions football when we come back right here on the Devin Dixon Show.
Get out and play with St. George City Rec.
Be sure to sign your kids up for summer swim lessons.